Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live, all the way from the Cape Town studios. My name is Lukman Shadrack. On technical duty, we've got Sahel Barnes, and thanks for joining us on Channel 347, or alternatively, you welcome to live stream on www.hilal.tv. Wonderful weather in the mother city. We had a little bit of clouds earlier, but it's cleared up nicely, anticipating summer. That's definitely upon us. A couple of months ago, if you would remember, we covered an event that really changed the Muslim art community and calligraphy more in common as well. And we had a wonderful gentleman that came down all the way from China who made sure that his students were put through the tests and they delivered as well. It was an organization called Deen Art, and we thought, let's invite them into studio again. They have a wonderful event coming up very shortly, and I thought, let's chat about that and also give our viewers a little more insight into this wonderful organization. In studio, I'd like to welcome Zulfa Tofi Samuddin. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Lukman.
Jazakallah so much. Lovely to see you in studio. Love to see you again. We last saw you at the event where all these wonderful students displayed their art and they qualified and graduated as, I think, calligraphers, Islamic calligraphers as well. But for those that don't know too much about Deen Art, give us a bit of background in terms of the history of this organization.
Okay, so Deen Arts Foundation came about in 2020 at the outbreak of the COVID pandemic.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, through this organization, we've been able to have contact to a master, which is touching into a traditional pedagogy of master to student, alhamdulillah. And the aim is to be able to revive and preserve sacred knowledge in the Islamic sacred arts.
Wonderful. Now, we were mesmerized by just the patience that one needs to have when you put these pieces together. And also the gentleman that came down from China, his name again?
Haji Nuddin,
who is just the most amazing gentleman. He's got the most amazing way about him as well. And he then coached the various students to go through the processes.
That is correct, yes. So we basically start from the beginning, as in, an entire curriculum, which has been set out so beautifully, which trains a calligrapher starting from, a first lesson of doing basic strokes all the way through up until the point of being able to compose and now, produce your own work, as well as to be able to take the sacred knowledge and pass that on and share it to others. So it's quite amazing, subhanAllah.
And a typical course, or someone that's just a novice, who's never maybe picked up a pen or an art brush in their life and now would like to start on the journey of this calligraphy, how long does a typical course like that take?
So it could vary. It varies, from student to student. Firstly, there's no set requirements. I think just the desire, the intention, and the love for it to start. And of course, we are there as the teachers and the masters to take you step by step through the entire course. So it could vary anything from about 2 years to 3 years. Really and truly, it's your personal journey, and we're just there to guide you through every step.
Wow, that's amazing. And I tell you what, the works of art that was created at that event is world-class as well. Are students primarily from the South African region? Do they vary from all over the world?
So initially, when we started, we were 3 South African students together with a few students across the globe internationally. And that's grown. So subhanAllah, that is it's on an international level. So yeah, so it's basically international. It's not only for South Africans, alhamdulillah. So anyone can sign up. Yes.
Brilliant. What are some of the past, and I believe most of the students started during lockdown, so these were online lessons that happened.
Exactly.
How amazing is that?
Absolutely, subhanAllah. I think from 3 students, just 3 South Africans, we've now graduated. 4 South African students has graduated. And the school, I think there are about 1,700 students, across the globe. And that's how much it's grown, and that's over a period of 3 years, 4 years.
Brilliant. We've got some artworks that we'd like to display on screen very shortly as well.
Okay.
Just to give our viewers an idea of what this type of, artwork and art generally takes as well. But some of the events that you've had since the organization has been in and around as well. I know we had the event earlier this year at the Harley Davidson shop.
Yes.
Were there any other events that you would like to tell our viewers about?
Yes, definitely. We are extremely honored and very excited to announce to particularly our South African Muslims about a brand new Quran writing Al-Qalam Quran project.
Okay.
Where we'll be selecting, 38 South African Muslims to start, the process. And subhanAllah, it's such a great, amazing opportunity to be able to engage and to stay closely to, the divine words and through the act of writing.
Okay, but past events. I want to know about your past events. So we had the one at Harley Davidson. Were there any other events around the world that our viewers could probably go and check out on some of the socials?
I think with my teacher, Haji Nuruddin, he's been traveling quite extensively. He's been at a live exhibition in the UAE.
Nice.
In Bradford, UK. So he's currently in USA, in Dallas, Texas, and he's constantly traveling and spreading this beautiful, means of Islamic sacred arts.
Brilliant. Some of the works that we've got some pictures that we'd like to put up on screen as well, so that our viewers can see some of these works, because these are internationally recognized work and arts of work. And I would imagine it takes hours and hours to put a piece like this together.
Absolutely. I think the beauty is, subhanAllah, it's just glorifying the words of Allah, but in a beautiful way. And, and it's also a means of getting closer to Allah. And just everything that we are writing is just the way, that you are able to increase in, patience and many other beautiful traits, subhanAllah.
And if you look at the screen right now, that's one of the students that's putting through a great piece of work. I mean, is that, your typical everyday, is that your typical lesson that one tends to go through?
Exactly. You are constantly engaged in these divine words and letters, and they are mesmerizing because of the movement in the letters, the preparation before you've actually even touched your pen.
Okay.
There's a beautiful process when you actually get to your tools, and so,
Brilliant. Now, we've also just been joined by Sister Widad. Assalamu alaikum. Shukran so much for joining us. Lovely to see you again as well. How did you get involved with the Deen Arts Foundation? Take us through the process of how you started and said, listen, I want to be part of this movement.
So Alhamdulillah, we met Haji Nuruddin, who is the founder of Deen Arts Foundation, in 2019. And Zulfa and myself both became his students.
Okay.
And we were wondering, he's based in China, we are in South Africa, how would we actually learn?
Right.
And then the pandemic hit.
Oh, yes.
And that's when everything went online. And through the online, means, we then connected to our teacher through Zoom lessons, through WhatsApp. And then we began just learning. And more students found out. And then they asked how could they join. And from there, we went from 3 South African students in 2020 to more than 25 South African students. And it was at this point when Haji Nuruddin said, let us start a branch or a franchise of Deen Arts in Cape Town in South Africa.
Amazing.
And because Zulfa and I were of his first students, we then had conversations about how we could, run it, help run it. So that all happened.
And it's just grown from there. You've grown into so many, it's grown into a community at the moment as well. How often do you guys interact? I mean, is this like a weekly lesson, bi-weekly?
With the full-time classes, it's weekly. So alhamdulillah, that really makes a huge difference to everybody. In terms of the students, because you are able to build a good consistency.
Nice.
So it's weekly via Zoom, approximately hour, 2 hours, that's the duration of the lessons. But it's direct contact to a master, and your work you get individual attention. So each lesson would be reviewed in terms of, how to improve, how to, what to do. And so, alhamdulillah,
Okay.
personal feedback.
Fantastic. Now, we've got a lovely event that you've alluded to a little earlier that's about to happen. Tell our viewers a bit more.
Alhamdulillah. So we've just launched the Al-Qalam Quran project, where we'll be selecting 38 South African Muslims to be able to, will be upskilled and trained to be able to write the Quran beautifully, meticulously, neatly, and to be able to gain the skill not only for themselves, but to be able to pass it on to train others so others are able to continue and to make it a continuous legacy for our South African Muslim community.
How long are we hoping for this project to last? Is there a time frame for it?
Yes, there is. It's over a 3-year period.
Okay.
So we'll have the initial contact will be with a master, where he'll be here with his team, training the group of 38 South African Muslims that's been selected, and they'll be trained up with in-person training. Thereafter, it will be an online process where they'll meet twice a month, approximately 2 hours. Again, as we've already got the system going, which works really well, alhamdulillah.
Vidant, how does the selection process work? I mean, is it just anybody that can be selected? Is there criteria?
So the first is to apply, and with the application process, you have to be a South African Muslim firstly, as Zulfa noted, also 18 or older, because there's a certain level of maturity that's needed because you are writing Quran. And so the application happens online, and the first component is to just detail your personal information, to say your name, your surname, your age, those kinds of details, and then to provide a motivational letter to tell us why you want to be part of this program, and tell us also a little bit about yourself. What inspired you, what interests do you have, what are you doing? And then the third component is to write the given line. So it's a very short line. It's a basmala and a verse, as best as you can, and using the bamboo column, if you can get hold of that. So those are the 3 steps. And then obviously to submit, click on the button online.
Yes, and submit it.
Yes, so that is the first process. Thereafter, we will go through the applications, and from there we will contact the students or the applicants that make it to the second round, and they will then be interviewed, and then to provide some testimonials, just to say something about their character. And from there we'll make the final selection of the 38. Okay,
now that's a lot to take in. We're gonna cover it again just after the break, so that all our viewers could possibly send in their applications as well. You're watching Hilaal Live. We're chatting to the Deen Arts Foundation SA about a wonderful event coming up, a project coming up where you can get involved. Do look out for those details. We're going to open the WhatsApp line after the break, where you can ask the 2 ladies in studio any questions. 079 085 2511. You're still watching Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for joining us on channel 347 or on our live stream www.hilaal.tv. In studio, I have the Deen Arts Foundation SA chatting about a wonderful event that they have coming up soon. If you remember, a couple of months ago, we covered an event in Cape Town where students graduated in the beautiful art that was created. We had the master that was down from China, Brother Noor, I think it is,
Haji
Nuruddin, and he just put the students through their paces. The most amazing gentleman. We had the opportunity to speak to him as well, so alhamdulillah. In studio, Sister Zulfa and Sister Widad, who are part of Deen Arts Foundation, are teachers now or masters? Where are we?
Our teachers.
Our teachers. Okay. When do you go to the master level? I mean, is it a number of years?
I think it's a lifelong journey.
Okay.
So I wouldn't compare myself to my master, but I'd love to aspire to be able to learn more, to spread the knowledge, to be able to reach, a level, inshallah, a level of mastery.
Of course.
pass that on, inshallah.
Great. So we've got the WhatsApp line that's open. If you'd like to ask the two ladies in studio a bit more, 079 0852511. If you want to find out a bit more of how you can be part of this amazing organization, if you've always wanted to, go into the art of calligraphy, Islamic calligraphy, is there a specific name for it? Am I getting it wrong?
I think Islamic Sacred Arts is good.
Islamic Sacred Arts.
Yes.
There we go. Islamic Sacred Arts. If you always wanted to know a bit more, then send us a WhatsApp and I will direct your questions to the ladies in the studio. Unfortunately, no telephone calls, only WhatsApps at this point. Right, if we want to run through very quickly about the event that's coming up and the criteria of how our viewers could get involved.
Okay. Shall we do it?
Okay, go for it.
We'll start. So the first step would be to do the online application. You would have to access our website, which is Deen Arts Foundation South Africa.
Okay.
The website will leave all the details for the viewers. And the first thing would be to have the personal information to complete that area, that section, submit that.
Okay.
The second one would be to the motivational letter as to why they'd like to apply for just to tell us a bit more about themselves.
Okay.
What obviously has inspired them. And then step 3, if they can complete the required competency, test line, which just kind of helps us assess, in terms of the hand and the level of, capabilities.
I don't think I'll qualify. I
You
do
should
not
try,
have
definitely.
any coordination.
It's
I
for
would
everybody.
need a lot of lessons before I do that as well. Typical student, you guys are teachers. What are the initial steps that you take students through?
So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The first is to let them know, why they're signing up, why they want to do it, because the intention, the niyyah is very important. So we start from there. And we then take them through how to get ready their tools, tool preparation, how to open or cut their kalam, how to put the ink in, how to use ink and what is what. And then they start writing a sentence, Rabbi Yasir wala tu'asir Rabbi tamim bil khair, which is a dua that is saying that, oh Allah, I would like to do this. Please make this easy, this task for me, and take away any difficulties. So the student will write that sentence until the master teacher is happy. And then from there, they will start writing single letters like alif, ba, ta.
Brilliant.
And then from there, compound letters. And then from there, they'll be writing sentences until they're ready to write verses of the Quran. And then from verses of the Quran to chapters, to
Beautiful.
the whole juz, inshallah.
Inshallah. So your students, do they primarily do this for their own peace of mind and maybe therapeutic way to relax, or do they take this type of art further?
I think that, for many who approach it, they're not quite sure as to, what actually the art is about. Because firstly, they see it as an art, which it's beautiful as an art. But we, in Islam, everything that we do, we connect it to Allah and to our deen. And so because of that, it is a process of purification, where you will go step by step. If you haven't got any patience, for example, it's a good way to train your patience, your perseverance. And these are all qualities that we definitely need in our life, in the world that we live in. Fast-paced world, slowing down, reconnect.
Brilliant.
Reconnect to
Good
Allah
advice.
and just slow down, alhamdulillah.
Good advice. I like that. And I'm sure lots of students benefit from that
Definitely,
in the process. Sister Widad, the process of the very many months that this project is going to take place, is there a particular theme that you guys have attached to this?
So there's no theme as such, but everything is Quran. And again, it's a 3-year program that is fully funded. So from your tuition fees to your stationery, the books that you'll be using, everything is fully funded.
Nice.
And over the 3 years, like Auntie Zulfa explained, there will be in-person workshops, but majority will be online. And these teachers teaching the program are qualified, specialized teachers who have spent years mastering the letters of the Quran. So they will be teaching that, and also ways of being, the necessary adab and ahlak that goes with it. And that is why the selection program, it's so important, because
Right.
we are looking for Muslim students who are eager, who are committed, who want to learn. You know, they like you've mentioned, you don't maybe qualify because of your writing.
No.
There's no writing experience needed. You don't have to have a background in Arabic or Arabic writing. It's just that commitment or that desire to want to learn Quran, to write Quran for Allah. That is all.
Amazing. Amazing. I like the concept, and I think a lot more people are going to. I think you're going to be inundated with applicants. I don't envy you guys, because you've got to now do the final selection. And criteria 18 and over. Have to be 18 and over, have to be Muslim.
Definitely.
All right. Okay. So that's a great opening for the applications as well, and over a period of how many months?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. So the commitment that you were speaking about needs to be there from the get-go.
Definitely.
Okay. Once again, is there a website, social media that people can go to have a look and find out a bit more information?
Yes, definitely. The Deen Arts Foundation South Africa website, that's www.deenartsfoundation.org.za.
Okay.
And they will just have to select the tab, which is Al Kalam Project. All the information has been beautifully placed, what the project is about, a little bit more about, just the history of the Quran and the selection, the application process and how these rounds actually work. So it's quite easy to.
Brilliant. As a teacher,
navigate.
what are some of the rewarding, programs, aspects that you've been through since you've been with Deen Arts Foundation? What's it been like for you?
So definitely seeing the students progress, definitely seeing how they change. They start off with certain mannerisms, with certain dispositions, and then them going through the motions and them changing and seeing how beautiful they become, inside and outside. That is the beauty, that is the pleasure that I get from this. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And what words of motivation would you have for someone that would like to become a new student, that would like to progress in this art form?
So to do it for Allah's sake, for Allah's pleasure. And just to add that the program, we have designed it in such a way, or our teacher has designed it in such a way, that it's not it's not very demanding, because it's quite paced out. So although it's over 3 years, it's only twice a month classes that you have to join, and the classes aren't long. It's about 2 to 2.5 hours. So if you're studying full-time or you're working full-time or have other commitments, it's not taxing on you, it's not overwhelming. You can still do it, just like how we do all our other Muslim duties.
Right. Brilliant. What about yourself, Sister Zulfa? What's been some of the rewarding aspects as a teacher for the Deen Arts Foundation?
As a teacher, definitely, as your dad says, it's the transformation. Transformation, for example, we all come from different walks, different spaces, different careers and families, and so there's no age. There's no age restriction. It's not limited to any color, race, or particular culture. It's a celebration of our Deen, of, just in the written form, and just improving yourself, getting closer to Allah. And we are all in need of beauty. And this is that, opening for us, living in the time that we are, to be able to be the one who creates the beauty is something truly, truly special.
Brilliant. Jazakallah once again for both your times coming into studio, chatting about a very rewarding project for our community and for the Ummah at large as well. And it's so nice that this type of project doesn't just restrict one to South African boundaries, it then allows you to network beyond the South African boundaries as well, especially with Haji Nuruddin all the way in China, who just encourages everybody with his mannerisms to pursue an art form like this. All the very best with the project. We'll touch base with you guys in a couple of months to find out how's it going. Once you've done the selection process and then also started the program, we'll definitely touch base to find out a bit more. Jazakallah so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And that's the Deen Art Foundation in studio telling us about the wonderful project, the Al Kalam Quran project, that's going to be taking place. Do join them on their website, social media, and find out how you can be part of this amazing event. After the break, I chat to the Kung Fu legend himself, MJ Lee, about their project coming up early next year. Do look out for that one. You are still watching Hilaal Live.